She looked like she was having a blast. Man, it was just so fun to see her out there.
The Swift-Kelce world is buzzing louder than ever. With Super Bowl week unfolding in the Bay Area, fans are eagerly speculating about whether Taylor Swift will make an appearance at Travis Kelce's highly anticipated San Francisco event. At the same time, conversations are heating up as Tom Brady weighs in on rumors surrounding Kelce's future in football, sparking debate over whether he's considering retirement or gearing up for another season.
He's a stud, man. What a great player he's been. And I mean, he could still play. He looked great this year. I thought this was one of the best years he's had in a long time.
Next, the spotlight shifts away from the stadium as it becomes clear why Travis and Taylor aren't rushing into wedding plans. Then, Travis expands his list of accomplishments by stepping into the world of publishing, teaming up with Jason Kelce to release a brand new book.
Also announcing our first book. That's right. Can you believe that we're publishing a book? We're authors. Who would have thought?
To wrap it all up, Taylor showed her loyalty by making sure her Fortnite co-stars Josh Charles and Ethan Hawke received their own VMA trophies. Super Bowl week in the Bay Area was already shaping up to be loud, unpredictable, and entertaining in the best way. And then things kicked up another notch. Travis Kelce and George KD joined forces with Sports Illustrated to host a major Super Bowl week event in San Francisco on February 5th. Almost immediately, the internet focused on one burning question. Would Taylor Swift be there? Sources called it the ultimate mystery, with no clear answers in sight. Even Travis's own attendance hadn't been fully confirmed, which surprised fans given that the Chiefs season had ended early, leaving his schedule wide open. Meanwhile, KD was dealing with an injury, but many believed he'd still be present around the team if the 49ers continued their push toward championship glory, a goal fans were already passionately rallying behind.
Bye-bye. Love you.
What really stood out was the atmosphere. The event, titled Tight Ends and Friends, was set to take over Public Works at 9 p.m., and this was no dull, buttoned-up industry gathering with lukewarm drinks and forced small talk. Instead, it promised a high-energy, party-style experience with a polished edge. Picture football-inspired decor, hands-on activities, large-scale production, and music that commanded attention rather than fading into the background. The lineup featured a mix of local DJs and well-known national acts, all building toward a headline set by Loud Luxury, with Frank Walker setting the tone early. In short, it was the kind of night that blurs the hours, drains your energy, in the best way, and leaves you wondering where the time went. And hovering over it all was Taylor, like a glittering question mark in the background. Fans were already mapping out outfits, possible camera shots, and elaborate theories in case she decided to make a surprise appearance. There were no confirmations or denials, just pure speculation running wild online. Tickets were live, excitement was building fast, and insiders joked that if Swift walked through the door, the reaction would be unforgettable. Either way, Super Bowl week had officially entered full celebration mode, and this event was shaping up to be one of those nights people would claim they attended, whether they actually did or not. While everyone kept refreshing their feeds to see who might show up at the San Francisco party, the conversation quietly shifted to a much bigger question. Is Travis Kelce truly finished with football? Retirement talk reached new heights after the Chiefs' 2025 season ended in dramatic fashion, missing the playoffs for the first time in over a decade. With Kelce's contract officially expired, he suddenly found himself at a major career crossroads. The timing alone sent fans into a frenzy, because when a 13-season icon unexpectedly becomes a free agent, speculation goes into overdrive.
The season ends for me. I put my feet up and I just be a human.
Yeah.
Just being a regular human for a couple weeks, maybe a month or so, and try and figure out what I'm...
Enter Tom Brady, the ultimate voice in retirement debates. Known for stepping away from the game, returning and stepping away again, Brady felt it was time to share his thoughts. He emphasized that Kelce doesn't need advice from anyone, especially someone who famously went back and forth himself. Still, Brady made one thing clear. He doesn't see Kelce as someone who's lost his edge. In his view, Kelce remains a force on the field, bringing top-level intensity and a competitive drive that doesn't disappear overnight. In other words, there's still plenty left in the tank.
He's a stud, man. What a great player he's been. And I mean, he could still play. He looked great this year. I thought this was one of the best years he's had in a long time. But I love watching him play. I love his personality. I love his temperament. I love his competitiveness. He's one of the all-time greats that ever played.
And the stats support that outlook. Kelce quietly posted 851 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns last season, surpassing 13,000 career receiving yards as if it were business as usual. That milestone placed him in truly elite territory, making the retirement speculation feel a bit early to many around the league. Still, Kelce wasn't rushing toward a decision. He joked about his contract status, playfully referring to himself as unemployed, but those close to him sensed a more thoughtful mood beneath the humor. This wasn't about attention or headlines. It was about whether his body could handle another demanding NFL season.
Body can heal up and rest up, and I can feel confident that I can go out there and give it another 18, 20, 21 week run. Talked to a few people in the facility already, having the exit meetings and everything, and they know where I stand, at least right now. And there's a lot of love for the game that's still there, and I don't think I'll ever lose that. It's a tough.
While his future on the field remained uncertain, attention quickly shifted to what life might look like beyond football, especially since Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift were clearly not racing into wedding planning mode, despite being engaged and technically on a timeline. More than 4 months had passed since they shared the news, with a June 13th date loosely noted at a luxury venue in Rhode Island. Still, the planning vibe leaned more toward "we'll circle back" than late-night checklist chaos. No deep dives into color themes, no marathon spreadsheet sessions, and a guest list that felt more like a work in progress than a finished plan. Much of the slower pace came down to timing and mental space. Taylor was wrapping up an incredibly demanding year filled with new music, major creative projects, and non-stop momentum, while Travis was facing a career decision that could completely reshape his day-to-day life.
Honestly, I've been just focused on trying to win football games, man. I'll let that be a decision that I make with my family, friends, the Chiefs organization, when the time comes.
Neither of them felt any urge to stack wedding pressure on top of lives that were already packed. Instead of stressing over seating charts or floral details, they chose calm, balance, and time together, which felt refreshingly low-key for two people constantly in the spotlight. And while things stayed relaxed away from the field, Travis didn't exactly slow down. He quietly added author to his already impressive resume. Travis and his brother Jason decided to turn the wildly popular energy of their New Heights podcast into a book, proving that the conversation didn't have to stop at the microphone. The brothers took one of the show's most chaotic and fan-favorite segments and transformed it into something permanent on the page. An ambitious move that felt risky in the best way. Titled "No Dumb Questions and All of Our Dumbest Answers," the book fully embraces their signature mix of blunt honesty, football logic, and surprisingly thoughtful moments that land when you least expect them.
Questions is now available for pre-order on the Kelce Clubhouse. We're compiling all the no dumb questions that you guys have helped us build throughout these wonderful 3 years of doing this show thus far, so that you guys can enjoy these with friends.
The concept came straight from fans, who constantly flooded them with the most random, over-the-top, and occasionally brilliant questions imaginable. Rather than sidestepping them, the brothers leaned all the way in, tackling everything from life decisions to food debates with zero hesitation and plenty of personality. The book carries that same energy, reading like you somehow ended up at the Kelce family table and were welcomed into the conversation. It wasn't designed as a polished self-help guide or a traditional sports memoir. Instead, it felt like organized chaos, packed with stories, laughs, and an unexpected dose of self-awareness. With a release date set for June 2, 2026, the brothers were still adjusting to the reality of becoming published authors, which made sense since nothing about their path suggested a quiet, reflective writing retreat.
So announcing our first book, that's right. Can you believe that we're publishing a book? We're authors. Who would have thought? We're authors. I don't even know if that's the correct way to say this.
We're published.
Jason and Travis were honestly surprised by how it all came together. What started as a podcast segment turned into something fans could place on a coffee table and half-jokingly call culture. By all accounts, they had a great time creating it and loved the idea that supporters could enjoy a piece of the show in book form. No earbuds required.
What about trying to bring this show to life? Like, we do this show every week. We love that everybody tunes into this, how the fan base that we built with you guys, the 92.
The book touched on everything fans already loved about the Kelce brothers: football memories, unexpected career turns, everyday habits, and those strangely serious food opinions that somehow sparked online debates. It was essentially the podcast translated to the page, just without everyone talking over each other. Timing-wise, the move felt natural, with Travis facing a major career decision and Jason already settling into life after football. The book came across as a smart and fun expansion, not a rushed reinvention. It wasn't meant to signal anything dramatic, just another door opening while the brothers continued doing what they do best: sharing freely, laughing at themselves, and turning simple questions into something big enough to land a publishing deal. And just when it seemed like the Swift Kelce universe had no more surprises left, Taylor reminded everyone that thoughtfulness might be her quiet superpower. This chapter focused on what happened after her Fortnite music video dominated the VMAs and took home Video of the Year. Instead of simply celebrating and moving on, Taylor made sure the collaborators who helped bring the creative vision to life were recognized in a meaningful way. Josh Charles and Ethan Hawke, who surprised fans with their appearances in the video back in 2024, each received their own Moon Person trophies thanks to Taylor's behind-the-scenes effort. According to sources, Josh had no idea what was coming. He reportedly received a vague email requesting his mailing address, which immediately sparked confusion and curiosity. When the trophy finally arrived, his reaction was pure disbelief mixed with genuine excitement. He assumed the gesture came directly from Taylor, who wanted to acknowledge how their involvement elevated the project. It wasn't required or expected, which is exactly why it resonated so strongly. The moment perfectly reflected her reputation: immensely successful, constantly busy, yet always aware of who deserves credit. The Fortnite shoot itself was already a full-circle experience. Josh and Ethan reunited years after Dead Poets Society, finding themselves working together again in a completely different creative world. Keeping the cameo secret was reportedly the hardest part for Josh, especially since he hated not being able to share the news with his family. Filming day felt surreal, filled with laughter and that familiar chemistry instantly returning. Despite being tied to a massive pop release, the atmosphere on set was described as relaxed and welcoming. Taylor's team treated everyone with warmth and respect, making it feel more like a creative collaboration than a high-pressure production.